There's no way that, like, are these jobs all getting service? Like, I would think that like some of them would have canceled maybe or something. I call our head technician. I'm like, hey man, just want to like confirm, are all these jobs getting serviced? And he's like, no man, because of the rain, we didn't do any of the jobs.
Oh my God.
I was like, did you like let the customers know? And he's like, no. So all these customers just got ghosted.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the D2D Podcast, where we got another stud waiting to tell you all his secrets and make you a better door knocker. This gentleman comes from Canada. Not only has he earned a golden door last year, he earned our first ever Maple Door Award and is on pace to hit another golden door for this upcoming D2DCon. Hailing all the way from Canada, also a speaker at D2DCon Canada, James Fraser. Welcome to the podcast, dude. How are you today?
I'm great, man. It's an honor to be here. I've been watching the podcast for a long time, since Sam was running it in his closet. So,
You've been an OG listener.
An OG listener. So it's a pretty full circle moment for me to be on here. So I'm honored, man.
Absolutely. You've been doing some huge things up there. Your name's getting spread throughout the industry. So it's only fitting that you're on the podcast. Would have been cool to have you in the studio, but pretty far from Canada, eh? So we'll have to do Zoom.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trek.
It is.
The last time I was in Utah, I came down in my RV. So
did you really?
I did.
I love that.
Last D2DCon. Yeah.
That's sick. And so I'm assuming you just stayed in it?
Yeah.
Versus a hotel room?
Actually, no, I did get a hotel. Oh. Stayed one night on the road.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense.
I was with my fiance, so she didn't love the staying in the RV during the winter.
Hey, can you blame her? I'm sure it is rough in the winters here and there. So that's cool, man. Well, James, for our listeners right now who may not know who you are, why don't you give them who you are? Again, if you've heard the podcast, you've heard me say this. I love a good how you got into the industry story. If you have one of those, you can share it. And then just give us a rundown on your career and what led you to be a regional manager for Avayda Pest Control today.
Yeah, man. So my name's James Fraser. I'm going on to my 6th summer. This is my 6th summer currently. I grew up in a small town, Penticton, BC. Growing up, always big time soccer player. Soccer was my first love. Played every single morning, every single night, fell in love with the game. A lot of my character traits come from soccer. Just that gritty mentality. Mm-hmm. Dominated my life and my schedule for the first 25 years of my life. I ended up playing for TRU, which is a university in Kamloops out of high school. Okay. So I had a great collegiate career with TRU, had a lot of great memories. And when I was 21, that's where I got recruited by one of my teammates who you recently had on the podcast, Jason Steger. And although I loved soccer, and it dominated my schedule, I also loved entrepreneurship. I was just that kid selling Coca-Cola cans out of my locker. I was just hustling. I always loved just the idea of, buying something and selling something and making a profit. It would just always set my soul on fire. At the time, I was doing like 6 jobs at my university. I was doing the team laundry. I was coaching. I was a bartender at Mr. Mike's. Mr. Mike's. Shout out Mr. Mike's.
No, I was just saying it's a funny name.
Yeah. Mr. Mike's, team laundry, coaching soccer. I wrote for the school paper for the sports section. I used to flip stuff on Facebook Marketplace from the thrift stores. I used to run ads and pick up people's recycling. I was just a scrappy kid.
Wow,
right?
you were a scrappy hustler, dude.
Scrappy hustling, man. By no means was I like making it rain or anything, but I was getting by, and I just took pride in that, and I just loved it. Sure. And Jason kind of saw that and was like, bro, you gotta come and you would be great at this. Like, you gotta come and try this sales thing. And I was tell me more about it. He's like, dude, you make $500 a sale. Obviously that piqued my interest. I was like, bro, I'm grinding for $500 a week out here, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of the story that you hear all the time, right? Hey, I'll cool off this summer, you go try it out, come back, let me know how it is. He came back, said he had a great experience. He worked with Vivint at the time.
Okay.
And then, man, 2021, I did my first summer of sales with Vivint and had an amazing experience. From there, Vivint, I just fell in love with the game. I didn't have like an amazing first summer, only sold 30 accounts. I was still very dedicated to soccer, so I can only do kind of like a half summer part-time. Okay. But man, I just came up with a bunch of killers, man, like Jason Stager, Arjun Manhas, Rohan Manhas, Tyler Fournier, like some of the all-time greats that are still very relevant in door-to-door sales in Canada. Yep. Those guys just really like took me under their wing, taught me everything that I know, and just gave me like an elite experience that first summer. So after that, I actually took a summer off during COVID. So I took a summer off, chilled out a little bit, and then I got back into sales with legacy marketing in 2022 or 2021, 2022. And going into that second summer, I was just guns a-blazing, ready to go. Had that full summer off before, and I was going into my last year of collegiate soccer, so I was starting to think about my future, what I'm going to do next. And finished that second summer as a top performer, did about 175 accounts, had to do another half summer because I had to go back to my preseason for soccer for my last year. And then 2022, finished my collegiate career. Jason at the time wanted to expand operations, get into another industry. Pest control came across the table, and he looked at me for help and said, hey man, I'm too busy, running this TELUS operation. Like, would you consider, sparking up this new, industry for us with legacy marketing? So I hopped all over it, right? I looked at it like God's sign. Yeah. And, went all in pest control. And then I've been at Avayda ever since. So 2022, 2023, 2024, and now we're in 2025. It was a rocky road. I can get into the story, but it wasn't easy. But since starting at Avayda, now we've worked out the kinks, and we're on our way and on our journey to grow this thing across the country.
That's so cool, man. Congrats to you. You've heard me say it before, if you listen to the podcast, you got the blue collar or the competitive background. Sounds like you got a little bit of both. You got the gnarly soccer background, and then you're just a scrappy hustler getting after it as well. How did that translate for you? Talk me through that first little bit of your first go on the doors, fresh newbie at Vivint, fresh off of the thrift store marketplace grind, the Coca-Cola's in the locker, you're straight into door knocking. Kind of a two-parted question. Did those years of just scrappy hustling translate well for you into door-to-door sales? And just what in general was that like? Were you one of the guys that just had immediate success off to the races, or was there like a big learning curve for you?
I mean, a little bit of both. Like, I loved it though right away. Like, again, I've always been the type of guy that just has loved the grittiness of things. Like, even with soccer, like I loved like even if there was a grassy green field, for some reason, like I just loved the idea of like, hey, let's go barefoot on the street. Like, I just loved that concept of like getting it out of the mud. You know what I mean? Yeah. So door-to-door sales, like I saw the guys, that I really respected going out there and selling consistently. So even if I was like pounding pavement and getting, no's, I just knew like, hey dude, this is just what you got to do. You got to pay the price. You got to learn how to sell. And luckily I had a little bit of early success, if you can call it that. Like, I sold, I think 2 alarms in like my first week and was like buzzing about that. You know how it is as a rookie, right? They really hype you up as a rookie, which is awesome. But
dude,
for sure. But yeah, man, I just fell in love with the game, and yeah, just the rejection and all that I was kind of used to, you know, just through soccer and through, you know, I guess, you know, trying to kind of like, you know, make money scrappy ways. So it was I would say like a lot of the people that like I grew up with, they're not surprised that, you know, I'm in door-to-door sales now, right? They could see it coming, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, based off of how you explained just your personality and your upbringing and the things you just inherently fell into as far as like what you're passionate about, sounds like door-to-door sales is like God's calling for you. I love it.
It could be.
Yeah,
for sure.
And what a great industry, you know? So
amazing industry, changed my life, right? I don't think there's a better industry out there. If you can show me one, then I'm all ears, but it's definitely changed my life. And it's definitely, I think, you know,
I love it.
Best play for young entrepreneur minded people.
Totally. You learn so much. It's just like a fast track to learning communication, people, business, sales, marketing, like all the things, like, and you just don't, and it's cool because like you think you're just getting into sales and just door-to-door sales, but you learn so much. It's amazing. Yeah.
The community of guys you're with, right? Like, you know, when I was doing all those little side hustle stuff, you're just alone. But when you can surround yourself by a group of young, hungry individuals that are succeeding at a high level, the growth that comes with it is just exponential, right? So could never be in the position I am on my own, right? It's all the people that I came up with, all the people that I learned from.
Totally. I want to talk about that, but like really quick, I had a funny thought when you were saying like the rookie hype is just so real. You're like, you know, it reminds me of the movie, it's called All Quiet on the Western Front. It's a book, actually. Read it like in grade school. And then they made an old movie about it, and they just remade it like around COVID on Netflix. Have you seen it? All Quiet on the Western Front? It's funny. I mean, it's not funny. You have seen it, or you haven't? Sorry, I missed that. You haven't. It's you reminded me of it because it's like it's World War I, and they're getting into World War I, and it's like following these three dudes. You know, they're in high school. And it's just like so like patriotic, like Germany, I think it's Germany. And they're all just so bought in, and everyone enlists in the war, you know, to defend their country. They make it sound so amazing, and they're just so hyped up, and they're excited, and they get their uniforms, and they're just like over the moon that they get to go fight for their country. And then they just enter into just freaking hell, like just the trenches. One of the friends gets like torched alive, and it's just like, they're all so excited. And then the realities of like what they got into hits them really hard. And I just think about that as like a rookie in door-to-door sales. They're like, yeah, this is amazing. And then they go out there and they're like, wait, but it's obviously very different, but it's good. That's just a funny thought I had. I was like, that's funny. Mark your calendars and grab your tickets, because we are back on January 22nd through the 24th, 2026 in Salt Lake City, Utah. 3 days where industry legends, top CEOs, and breakthrough innovators gather to share the strategies shaping our industry. Witness the prestigious Golden Door Awards honoring the elite performers who've achieved what others only dream of. Network with over 2,800 door-to-door professionals across all industries, ranging from solar, roofing, fiber, alarms, pest control, HVAC, and beyond. Founded by Sam Taggart, this is where careers are transformed and million-dollar connections are made. Visit D2DCon.com, click the D2DCon 9 button at the top right, and secure your spot at the most important event in direct sales. Use promo code podcast to receive a 20% discount on your ticket purchase. That's D2DCon.com, promo code podcast. Now, back to the show. You mentioned you mentioned some guys' names, the Rojas brothers, I think it is, Stager. And then like you mentioned as well just now, the community of guys that are just doing big things and networking at a high level. I kind of want to talk about them for a second. How much of a role did their mentorship play in your success and longevity to continue on your career?
Everything, man. Yeah. Like, I owe all my success to the guys that I came up with, you know, in sales.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, Jason Stager, like he showed me the opportunity. I could tell you countless stories of like little breakthroughs that he helped me out with. He gave me everything I have today. He gave me all that opportunity. So, yeah, a really special guy. Shout out Jason Stager, Manhas brothers. Like, those guys are absolute killers. And when I first came into sales, I realized right away, like, oh, these guys are elite with their training. And I was just that rookie, just babbling to them, hey dude, how do you overcome this objection? How do you overcome this objection? And they just completely like embraced it, took me under their wing. So love those guys to death. Like, still some of my best friends. Tyler Fournier, he was my manager in my first year. And that guy just taught me a lot about, how to be an awesome manager, how to communicate with your reps. Still one of my best friends today. And then even the guys like, that I met later on, not after my rookie year, Brock Wahlberger, Lane Heggie, those are, the owners of the company that I'm at now.
Yeah.
Like, taught me a lot about just life and how to kind of maneuver through being a regional manager and being, an owner of a company. And even the guys that joined on board and I recruited, like guys like Juan Diaz, Waleed, Ty Dayton, Cade Dayton, Julio Yeber, Mudapa, Aryan. Like, I could just keep on going on and on. Imad Basmati. Like, you don't only have to learn things in this job from, guys above you. It's just a collective group of just guys that are, willing to go out there, hustle and grind. And it just really pushes you as a person. And just makes you a much better man and a much better salesperson. So yeah, very grateful for everyone that I work with, and especially the guys that have been around for a while.
That's awesome, dude. Because what I've learned in doing the interviewing top performers and leaders in our industry is a lot do have mentors that they can attribute their successes to and their leadership, but a lot don't. A lot have just had to they had the one person that brought them in or whatever the case is, but a lot of them just had bad leadership, didn't have really I think it was Jordan Morales. Yeah, Jordan Morales, you know him? Yeah, he was sharing how him and his buddies just got recruited out. They went out to Alberta, and his manager had some beater pickup truck and then just basically kicked him out of the truck and turf. And that was it. He didn't really have that kind of mentorship. So very fortunate to have that. I was lucky to have a good manager in regional as well that really showed me the way and taught me a lot. So that's amazing. I kind of want to say one thing, ask one question before we pivot into the leadership side of things. But looking back on your first summer or your second summer, let's just say first summer, you come in, you're new to sales, but you're a hustler and you have a good experience. If someone asked, like me, if I asked you, if you could boil down your summer into one lesson or one takeaway, what would you say it is? That's a deep one. Sorry.
One takeaway. I mean, I'll answer that question because my first summer as a rookie was honestly fairly smooth. I had a great experience, but my first summer in pest control, there's a little bit of a story behind it where I had a big lesson. But first summer in pest control, hot shot alarm salesman, transitioned into pest control, had the roughest summer of my life, right? We thought we were going to sell the lights out in pest control. I literally remember writing down on a goal board 1,000 accounts. I'm going to sell 1,000 accounts, 1,000 accounts. Long story short, in May of that first summer, so I recruited a team, right? Recruited a team, 20 guys. We're all stoked. We're thinking, okay, we're going to just set the pest control world on fire, right?
Totally.
And the month of May, I serviced $16,000 of revenue.
Wow.
Which is, for the standard that I'm at now, it's just horrendous. So it's like the leader kind of baggling. It's like the leader kind of averaging 0.5 sales a day. So I recruit this big team. I tell them it's going to be great. As a manager, I go out there and I bagel, sell one, and it's just absolute hell, right? I remember calling my fiance, just being like, hey, I'm in a living nightmare right now. This is so bad. And it was tough, right? Our technicians were unorganized, not just on the sales side, but I remember, quick side story, we are making some sales as a team. Like, let's say we sell 10 sales a day, whatever, for the first week. I call my head technician. I'm like, because some of the sales are kind of like thrown on the schedule, right? I'm like, there's no way that, like, are these jobs all getting serviced? Like, I would think that like some of them would have canceled maybe or something. I call our head technician. I'm like, hey man, just want to like confirm, are all these jobs getting serviced? And he's like, no man, because of the rain, we didn't do any of the jobs.
Oh my God.
I was like, did you like let the customers know? And he's like, no. So all these customers just got ghosted. And I'm the manager and there's a whole team of rookies. And I'm like, hey, sorry about that, guys. Like, none of the jobs got serviced. You know, half of the jobs canceled, half of them we were able to get them on the schedule, but it was brutal.
That's gnarly.
It was like that for the first kind of 2 months or so. I could go into another story about how we kind of changed the tide. Lenny Gray, shout out Lenny Gray. He basically the godfather of pest control. If you know, you know. He's from the States. But anyways, he flew in. We paid him a bunch of money to do consulting. He flew in, sell, and then after that, we changed the tides. We ended up having, you know, a successful first year. But those first 2 months were absolutely brutal, man. And I think a big takeaway I had, you know, the first 2 months I just absolutely sucked, but I was blaming everything else, right? I was blaming, oh, you can't sell pest control in Canada. Oh, this industry is no good, right? I was so many times thinking about, you know, other opportunities. Oh, let me go back to TELUS. We can sell the lights out there. Guys will make more money, whatever. And the second half of the summer, decided to commit, said, hey, dude, like, stop being a coward. Looked at myself in the mirror and said, hey, finish the summer. You're finishing the summer. You owe it to your guys. For the next 2 months, just grind, just work the hours. Whatever happens, happens. Work the hours. When the summer's over, then you can reflect and make a decision. But you're being a coward by being a leader to these guys and just kind of having 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and not, you know, not believing in the opportunity. So I decided, hey, next 2 months, I'm just going to grind. And after that, completely changed my summer. I ended the summer with about 200K.
Nice.
Yeah, which was, I was the most improved in the company, and I was really proud of that. But really just the lesson that I learned after that was just like, hey man, just commit to the hours, commit to the grind. Like, don't get distracted by all these external things. And then sure enough, after I did that 200K, I thought, hey man, let's go all in. Like, let's change the narrative. I think I figured out how to do this thing. Like, now let's really take advantage of this opportunity. And ever since then, it's just been bigger every single year, right? So yeah, anyways, that's a lesson there, is just, hey, commit to the hours your first year knocking. And if you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, commit to the summer, make the decision at the end, but just grind those hours, right? Time on doors is always king.
Totally. It's so special because it's another reason why I love this industry. It's you can compare it to lots of things in life. It's very metaphorical to lots of just things in general, but it's so true. It's so, I mean, people are so, and it's not like any fault of them, but it's just so easy to overcomplicate, get yourself distracted, think you're doing or putting energy into things that move the needle. But the reality is just, you got to keep the main thing, which is just time on doors, more time in front of qualified buyers for a longer period of time. How can you achieve that? If you can achieve that day in and day out, like, you will be successful. Don't get lost in the sauce of training. Don't get lost in the sauce of making sure your morning routine is dialed. Don't get like, oh, well, if I sit on this park bench and send follow-up texts to old leads for the next hour and a half, it's like, no, go on the hours that are the best hours to knock, the 5 to 7 hours a day, if that's what you do, and knock, and you will have success. And just do that, and then time block for all the other BS that you feel like is important. That probably is, but it's not as needle moving as time on doors. That's very well said. It's just, if you can stick to that day in, day out and train your brain to focus on that, like, you'll be a successful sales rep, guaranteed.
Inputs over everything, right? Like my Golden Door last year, like a huge breakthrough I had, and like it's like kind of stuff we already know. But shout out to Tristan Smith. He was my coach that year, down from the States. So he's a 2-time Golden Door winner. Paid him to do some consulting for me, and he was just like, bro, really lock into talking to the 50 plus people per day. Lock in on that. Yeah, and I run my own podcast. I have the benefit of, you know, quizzing some of the top pest control guys in the industry. And I realized, like, talking to Marshall Hawks, talking to Aubert L'Espérance, like, the reason why they're able to sell millions of dollars in revenue, it's no secret. It's no one-liners. They outwork everybody. Yeah. Aubert L'Espérance is on the doors at 11 a.m. and he knocks until 9:30 without fail.
Crazy.
Right? Marshall Hawks, he's on the doors no later than 8:30, right? 8:30 a.m. and he knocks till 8:30 p.m., 12 hours. That's how he's able to sell 1.5 million and set the industry record. That's right. Just time on doors is king, right? And Aubert L'Espérance, like, he sell these crazy numbers. He talks to 75 people a day. Like, that's gnarly. Yeah, that crazy, is insane, right? So they're just the guys that sell the most are always the hardest workers, right? Yeah. So if anything, like, really just tap into those inputs, right? And through that process, right, it's the 10,000 hour rule, right? As you talk to more people, as you find that consistency of grinding more, getting more, you know, people talk to, you're going to improve a lot quicker than someone who talks to 30 people, makes a sale, and then sits on a park bench, right? Yeah. The more experience you have, it's a law, right? It's not a rule, it's a law, right? You will get better, you will improve. Anyone that does 10,000 hours of sales will become an expert. It's inevitable, right? So anyways.
Couldn't agree more, man. And I learned that lesson pretty early on when I first became a manager and I was trying to grow my team. You know, whenever you're out and about, you're at a restaurant, you're always looking for someone you think that'd be good at the job, right? And at first, I was trying to find people based off of personality. I was trying to find the people that I just knew had the charisma, they're good at connecting. And I was like, oh, you're going to crush this job. And I was able to recruit some of them. And of course they didn't. And it wasn't until a little while later, I realized that, you know, if you have two people that you're looking at to bring onto your team, one is just charismatic. You feel like they have that sales touch, that people personality, they can win someone over. Or you have someone that maybe not be as skilled in that realm, but they'll work like a horse. Took me a while to realize that you want that guy. Like, you want the guy that will go out and put in the hours, because it's like the other part will come, like you said, naturally. If you can get 10,000 hours, and you will become an expert. But I want someone that's going to go be like 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. because those are the guys that will figure it out for sure. You know, they're the ones that are going to get the sales. Absolutely. How was that transition for you from sales into leadership? Do you find that the skill set of sales, it was a really smooth flow and transition, leading people versus selling customers, or was there a little bit of a learning curve for you there as well?
I think there's always a learning curve in leadership. I think it's always like, you're never going to nail it down. It's especially with door-to-door sales, you're dealing with so many personalities, so many different things. So I'm always learning about leadership and, trying to aspire to be a better leader every single day. But I would say, you know, honestly, it was all just natural to me. It clicked fairly early. I saw Jason doing it, right?
Yeah.
Jason, you know, when I left Vivint and I took that year off, Jason worked that year, created legacy marketing. When I came back, I saw guys with tattoos on their legs, guys saying like legacy till I die. I was like, holy smokes, bro, what happened, man? This is insane, right? So I was like, okay, dude, like, I got to latch on to this guy, like Stags, like let me work with you, man. Let me be your right-hand man. Let me be your killer. So I think going into that second year, I recruited 6 guys. And I don't know if it was from, you know, like, I was always a leader in soccer, right? I was always that guy, you know, team captain or morale guy, you know, making sure guys are prepared for the game and whatnot. And, you know, halftime speeches, all that sort of stuff. So, just recruiting's great, man. Like, if you want to increase your sales, like, recruit, because there's so many benefits to it, but just some of them are, number one, you're going to have that responsibility. And like, that was really deep for me. Like, dude, how dare I sit on a park bench if I got 6 guys that I just recruited and told them about this opportunity? Like, I need right? Like I need to grind. Like I'm a coward if I don't, right? Or at least I felt like that. And also training them, the best way to train is to teach, right? So if you can just grow that, right, it just gets bigger and bigger. The more responsibility you have, you know, the more accountable you're going to be to yourself and your goals. And the more you're going to train guys, the more you're going to get better, right? And then it's just obviously the business side of it just makes a lot more sense, right? Hey, you can just sell yourself. Okay, that's a means to an end. It's recruit or die in this industry, right?
Totally.
If you just sell yourself, okay, cool. Well, hey, once you have that first year where you sell less and you degress, you don't progress, the writing's on the wall. You're going to be out of this industry. We see it all the time, right? But if you can multiply yourself, teach others how to sell, that's how you're going to grow a way bigger business. You're going to do a lot more revenue for the company. You're obviously going to get compensated for it, but you're also going to make an impact on others and give them the same opportunity that you got, right? Yeah. So I would say it was fairly smooth, but I think I got the blueprint all laid out in front of me from Jason.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. A lot of good stuff you shared. Pivoting into Canada, are you doing a sales or leadership workshop?
I'll be doing a sales workshop.
Sales. Okay. If you got a chance, like I'm going to give you right now, to share a message to anyone considering coming to Canada or already planning on coming to Canada, why should they attend your sales workshop, James? What are you going to share with them? Don't give away all your secrets, but what can they expect to take away from your session?
Yeah, I mean, for myself personally, right? I think I'm a guy that hopefully others can relate to. My first year of pest control, I sold 200K. My second year, I sold 350K. My third year of pest control, I hit that golden door, 650K. And then hopefully, if God's willing, this year I'll hit 750K. But it's just incremental improvement, right? It's not like I'm one of these guys that just took off right away, right?
Yeah.
And you know, that golden door year is just brick by brick, 5 accounts a day, every single day. Started in March, finished in November, like an absolute grind, right? So what I just want to talk about is just the breakthroughs that I had through that process. A lot of them were coming from Door-to-Door Con, and just the mentality, right? Like a sales book that I read every single summer, Relentless by Tim Grover. There's coolers in this industry, right? There's closers in the industry, and then there's cleaners in this industry. And I've always tried to apply those cleaner mentalities, right, into this job. So that's what I'm planning on training on, is just the cleaner mentality and how you can apply that to summer sales, right? So, you know, not being a guy that's just, you know, willing to take part in a team, not being a guy that, you know, sells consistently in a team and has decent summers, but being a guy that's, you know, trying to dominate the industry, dominate in their team, and you know, hit higher standards for themselves. So
sounds like it's a can't miss, guys. If you're coming to Door-to-Door Canada, make sure you check out James's workshop. I'll be in attendance. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really stoked, dude. This has been a cool, I mean, just for me personally speaking, this has been a really cool experience. Getting to interview all you Canadian studs, like, sorry to phrase it that way, Canadian studs, but like all you guys up there that are just absolutely doing the damn thing, getting to know you guys and like getting little precursors on your workshops and your trainings. I'm just like, holy shit, dude, I'm hyped to go up there. And if anyone's listening to this that's on the fence of Canada, like, what the hell? Like, it's going to be an amazing event. But wrap up question for you, James, having been to Door-to-Door Con in Salt Lake, having won a Golden Door, being a Canadian, what are you most excited about for the fact that Door-to-Door Con is coming to Canada?
Oh man, just seeing everybody, like just seeing the Canadian door-to-door industry. You know, we see it all on Instagram, but I'm just really excited to be in the same room. There's a lot of guys that from other industries that I know very well that I'm going to be able to rub shoulders with, network, communicate with. And I'm really excited just for other guys to get the opportunity to do it. Like, I think it's already mentioned, but like there's a lot of international students in door-to-door that have never been able to come down to Utah. And like, man, like Door-to-Door Con has changed my trajectory, my sales career big time. So just allowing guys to kind of have that same opportunity, I think it's going to really like up level the industry big, right? When I first came down to D2DCon, I remember I was there, and I remember all the guys going on stage for pest control and collecting their golden door. I remember Sam saying, "We're gonna need a bigger stage." And I remember being in the crowd, and like my hairs on my arms stood up, and I just had this like burning thought of like, dude, I gotta get up on that stage. At the time, man, no chance in hell I was gonna do it. 200K rep, just figuring out pest control. And but like stuff like that doesn't happen by seeing a video. Like you gotta be in the room, right?
Yeah.
And that really just planted the seed for me to find the growth and hit that golden door 2 years later, right? But just little stuff like that. There's so many breakthroughs that happen in D2DCon, and there's just something about being in that room that'll really, change the trajectory. So you definitely all should come. Investing in yourself is just a major part of this business. It's the best investment you can make if you're, under $1 million net worth. And if I could tell you, hey, invest $500 to come and it's going to 10x, it's a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer. And if you can be the type of guy that invests, 5-10% of your income into investing into yourself, like you are going to go way farther than the guy that just tries to figure it out on his own within his own company. So it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely, man. I think it's gonna be great for your companies as well, just for every rep to be able to attend without, border laws or whatever the case is, travel fees, be able just to drive in, most likely, and just get that kind of a boost and to go back to market. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm excited to see the progression of Canadian sales and the progression of this event. It's obviously the first one. I think it's going to take off from here. I'm looking forward to it. But James, it's been a pleasure to have you on, man. You're an absolute killer. And anyone listening that's willingly not going to attend your workshop is a fool. I'll say that right now. But I don't think anyone's going to, so no worries there. But people listen to this today, like I've said before, and they want to just kind of see more of you. I don't know if you're active on Instagram or social media. Where could they find you?
Yeah. My Instagram is J_Blades11. I'm a pretty big ghost on there until I hit my golden door, and then I'll be active again. Also you can check out my podcast, The Northern Knock. So try to bring a spotlight to the best of the best for Canadian door knockers. So check that out. Again, it's pretty dead right now, but hopefully once I wrap up this golden door, we'll start getting back into it.
You're a man on a mission. I love it. All right, guys. Well, thanks again, James, for coming on. We appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you in Canada. If you guys like James, give him a follow, go to his workshop, come to the event. And as always, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment what you learned, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Thanks for watching.